Welcome to OMAT. We're going to do the 8 exercises that actually help me make mistakes or at least respond to them. Actually, this week I made a huge mistake and I lost a bunch of my work. And I know that I will make a mistake again. And it's so difficult to come back from a mistake. You have to work a little harder than you did the first time. And it could get very frustrating. But since I know that I'm going to make a mistake again, what can I hope for? I can't hope for being perfect. I can hope for a strong recovery. If I want to yell, I hope that I journal instead. If I want to throw my computer out the window, I hope that I meditate or maybe call someone. If I feel anger or anxiety coming on, I hope that I take a walk so that I could release some of that energy before making another decision or moving forward. All of these things are not easy to respond with. That's why I practice. Before, we used to say practice makes perfect. I don't think so. I think practice makes normal. I think the more I practice journaling, whether I feel like it or not, whether there's something to journal about or not, or meditate, whether I feel the need to clear my mind or not, all of these practices I can reach for because I'm sharpening my tools as part of my routine. So let's get into our practice, our routine. We're going to start with getting present, which is what helps me start any task, starting to cook, getting into a meeting, meeting a friend, making sure that not just my body is here, but my mind is here. It's not on other projects. It's not on tomorrow. It's not on the mistakes that I've made. It's here's what we're doing right now. So let's get into our practice. How do you get present? Maybe you just have to let yourself know where you are by maybe naming the things that you see, or getting physical by maybe rolling the head around. Taking any kind of action changes the mind. As we get present, we get into our first exercise of gratitude. We're going to be looking for what we can say thank you for. And if we find that there's really nothing that's very challenging, keep looking. That's what we're doing. We're not trying to make a list of how many things we could be grateful for. We're looking to name them. We're looking to feel that in our body. Let's see what we could say thank you for by practicing right now. Let's wrap for now. Find some water. There's always time for water. Hydration Nation, let's move on. Let's move into our meditation. This is a way to practice putting pause on a thought, putting pause on responding. See, if you notice, it's not that I'm asking myself to never feel something again. I'm allowed to feel anger. I'm allowed to feel sadness. What I want to put a pause on is a response that won't help me, a response that's useless, and a response that actually makes things worse. So here, let's practice taking a pause on our thoughts and deciding what's going to happen in our mind. What thought would you like to think about? Maybe following your inhale or exhale, maybe the thought of a river. Let's sit in any comfortable position, eyes opened or closed, and breathe. As we come back, let's have water. Let's notice that we didn't magically turn into a monk. Maybe the relentless thoughts stayed with us. Maybe they repeated, but maybe we practiced going, hey, I'll think about you later. Even just that thought for that moment changes our mind. Let's keep going. Let's write it down. Let's write down how you would maybe want to respond or how you're triggered to respond, and respond on that piece of paper before you respond on that other person. Let's practice writing anything. It doesn't have to mean anything to us. We don't even have to hold on to it afterwards. We could rip it right up. Write one or more words, nice and simple, right now. Let's wrap the writing for now. Find your water. What'd you write? Just kidding. It doesn't matter. Let's keep going. Let's move into our yoga practice. I'm going to walk us through a sun salutation. And what a sun salutation is from pose to pose. So if you want to do each pose that I'm going to flow from a pose to pose, if you want to do the flow differently by doing every other pose or adding your own poses, it is fine. The way that you allow your body to tell you where to go is by moving as slow as possible. And that slowness will help you. As soon as you reach a part that your body doesn't want to go to, it'll stop you. Since we're moving slow, it'll stop you before it hurts too much. This isn't supposed to hurt. Let's stand if we can stand and inhale the arms up. Look up and reach up. Know that we're not in a rush. And fold forward. Now with a rounded back, we're hanging over our feet, loosening up the neck muscles by maybe shaking your head no or yes. And when you're ready, halfway lift with a flat back, look up. And let's meet in a high plank. Plant your palms down right where they are. Step your feet back. And then with elbows near, lower your plank all the way down to the ground. Now the front of your body is on the mat or ground, and push against the ground. And your chest comes up, head comes up, look up. Let's meet in down dog, upside down V with the body by bending your knees and then putting your hips up and trying to get your heels as close to the ground as possible before we step forward towards our hands and start rolling up, meeting the palms above the head, exhaling them down to the center of the chest. And maybe a deep breath and a loud exhale on the way out of the yoga. I'm saying allow your body to make funny sounds, to get into shapes that maybe you didn't know it can get into. Allow your body to flow. Let's keep going. Let's get into our plank pose. Now we just warmed up our body a little bit. We got physical. Let's continue that process. Tell your mind. Now, how do you tell your mind? Let's practice telling our mind, I'm doing this right now. Practice that. Say that to yourself. Even if you think it's a joke, see what it feels like by taking these kinds of experimental thought processes for yourself. And let's get in that ready position. I'm going in 3, 2, 1, up in the plank pose. If you have talked to yourself in a way that gets you in that plank pose, congratulate yourself. That's great. And you're in for 10 seconds. If you have talked yourself out of it and you're still sitting there, practice talking to yourself encouragingly to get yourself there. That's 20 seconds. What does that mean? Say the stuff to yourself that you think is corny, is ridiculous. Try a drill sergeant, try a calm person, 30 seconds in, and it's not too late to start. Now, if you're in this, you're feeling it, right? Feel that challenge. And for 20 seconds, feel the positive version of that challenge. I know that that could sound very frustrating while you're taking on this challenge, but find a way for 10 seconds to talk to yourself with strength and with hope and with ability to finish in 3, 2, 1. You're done. Come down off your plank. Maybe use some of those poses from the sun salutation to stretch your way back. Find your water. Find a way to feel some satisfaction with what you just did. Maybe you have some information. Maybe you have a little bit more muscle because we're working it out. Let's keep going either way, getting into breaking some procrastination. A big part of feeling stuck and being stuck is not being able to start something. Here is our chance to find something small and start something small. Practice that. Practice looking and for finding something small by doing a task for 1 minute right now. Let's wrap for now and find the water. Now, if you have trouble finding or starting a task, tell someone. It's really important to let it out in some way. Let a friend know, a family member, a therapist, a coach. You don't have to stay stuck and you don't have to be alone in all of your processes. There is someone to talk to. Let's practice that by looking to say hi to someone or say, I'm thinking about you right now. Let's wrap for now and find the water. And find that even something as simple as trying to connect could feel challenging, and move on anyway. Let's walk it off, shake it off, dance it off. Let's move any part of our body that is capable of moving so that we can continue to use it. Move in 3, 2, 1. Move that body however you decided to move. And if you haven't made that decision yet, make a small version of that decision. Move an arm. It's been 10 seconds. Make sure that you're moving. And how do you keep yourself going? Practice talking to yourself in a way that is useful. That's 20 seconds. How do you do that? You legit experiment. You talk to yourself with these words or those words for 30 seconds. You can be encouraging. You could yell at yourself if you want to try that. And maybe sometimes it works to grunt, and sometimes it works for 20 more seconds to be more gentle, to conjure up the the resources, conjure up the energy so you can continue for 10 more seconds. How does that work? Sometimes I do grunt. Sometimes I yell. Sometimes I ohm for 3, 2, 1. We're done. All right. That is what today's job looks like. So thank you for taking OMAT and practicing today.